items that you paid for last night. So, anybody else that would arrive a little bit later would probably be waking up at around the time that the food that they were preparing for you guys finished.
Yeah, I knew would have woken up early to do some basic meditation and like her stretching and all this other stuff. She would have also had wrapped Zale up in blanket as she's coming down, as she's bringing him in. He's like, yeah, he's knocked out like really good. I don't know what happened, but gently places him on the bed. Don't know how long it's gonna be for, but I mean, I don't. Starts poking him in the cheek.
He's snoring.
Oh yeah, he's asleep.
Surprise?
I don't know. I mean, I think he was always taking pride in the fact he didn't need to sleep so much. So.
Everybody's gotta sleep at some point.
Yeah, that is very much true, she says, nodding as she takes out her calligraphy kit and starts drawing on his face. That is very worrisome, I have to admit. Calmly explaining this, putting some great graffiti on him. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, yeah, before anything else happens, here, and she rolls out the sash on the table. You know, before last night we did look this over, and I don't know if you guys would be interested in it, but this is what I remember about what the Kasesh does, and she will tell you guys and show it to you in the item card down over here. So I don't know if you guys had read it or not.
42-inch ribbon, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Could take a score of yours and kind of boost it up. No, okay, wait. Let me just say. Okay, it will take it will take a certain aspect of yourself and kind of amplify it. I don't know if any of you.
Depending on where you put it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Individual that wore it tends to affect certain stats better than others. This person was more charismatic and dexterous he was anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which translates to, if you use it to increase your charisma or your dexterity, it will increase it and the maximum for it by 2. If you use it for any of the others, it does it by 1.
Yeah, so out of character, if it had increased her wisdom by 2, then she would have been able to have more spell slots and better healing, but since it's +1, it's just like... She has plans for dexterity if you guys don't want it, but she'd be like, you guys are... You seem to be better at talking. I feel like this...
That would make Cat chuckle slightly.
Yeah, this would... Anrazar was probably definitely a force of personality, so...
Sounds like
I think Babette, Eliza, Kak, and I could probably use it to some extent.
Okay. Anyways, and she cracks her knuckles a little bit, stretching out, and starts gently drawing, not really drawing, but she just lays a few, like a little tiny makeshift ring around with just some sand that she picked up from outside. Okay, so you guys want to fight for it? Okay, one person needs to go on this side, and the other on this side. We're gonna do a wrestling competition. Okay?
I am not fighting for anything.
Eliza's just shaking her head.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors. Okay, one person goes over here, the other one goes over here.
You mean boulder parchment shares?
Yes, boulder parchment shares.
Cat will sit back and just look. I feel this would be better useful on one of those sneak types.
Okay, so change of decision, she'll start making a maze. Okay, so whoever goes to this point over here without touching any of this stuff, they will deserve it.
We had a long day yesterday.
I'm trying to raise the spirits of everybody, but okay. And she'll just gather
You're
up the
doing a
sun.
great
Yeah,
job.
sure. Okay. Just put a little water in there, just makes a little sandcastle and puts it on the table. Okay, but anyways. Yeah, I mean, that depends.
I think Eliza would enjoy using this.
Yeah, I could use it.
Okay. Alright, here. Let me show you a proper way of tying it, and she'll ask you to raise up your arms for a moment. She takes...
Eliza reluctantly raises her arms.
Okay. And
You'll be fine.
yeah, and as she ties it around, she's doing a very particular way where if you've seen any of like the martial artists or just monks in general, they have their sash tied to the right side, hanging down a little bit. It's a little bit longer than the normal sash, but I think suck in your stomach. Come on. This will make sure your back is straight and you're proper breathing. And as she lets it down, it kind of just, it's a very well put together sash, and dingles down a little bit. One side a little bit longer than the other, kind of going to mid thigh, and the other part of the sash kind of going to your waist.
Increase Eliza's dexterity by 2.
Right, so what's her
As well as
dexterity
her
right now?
It's 16. Do I need to change that on my...
Yes.
So I would change it to 18.
Yep.
So if you're wearing light armor, that also boosts it up, and your attacks and everything else.
I think
Yep. So it'll increase AC. It should do all those calculations automatically when you
Yep.
access.
Yep.
Yeah, overall it benefits everything you do, and it even raises your initiative and AC a little bit too.
Yep. Alright, so if you want, every single time you want to take it off, I can show you how to redo it and tie it up properly, but here, watch this. And as she takes, like, as she pulls one of the tassels of it, it unfolds just in this particular way, and she grabs the center of it and pulls it out, and then starts twisting it around. As if I actually saw... Okay, you can catch a sword with this. Wait a second. She ties it up again. It's like, okay, Zarman, you mind if you just... She takes a little, like one of the little knives, the food knives over there. Just do this motion, just a slight kind of piercing thing.
Okay.
Alright, and as she does that, she'll kind of, going behind Eliza, unwraps it, and just shows her a technique on how to catch somebody's arm with the sash, and just pulling it. So then when you pull it over here, they're going to get tugged down to your waist, and then you just pop them right in the back of the head, or at the back of the spine with your elbow.
Huh.
I told you a sash takedown.
Yep. There you go.
Well, thanks.
It's probably hard to do that in the heat of combat for a while, but if you work on it, that would actually be great at dueling if you ever want to... Actually, yes. Babette's not here. You could totally catch her off guard if you ever wanted to spar with her.
That's not a bad idea.
And,
Eliza starts like imitating what you did.
yep,
She's
and
like practicing.
yep, and Hannah will just throughout until the food comes, just keep on like giving you pointers of, okay, you just need to do that. Yeah.
There's like a spread of like it's mostly like cheeses and fruits and stuff. They bring out some wine. Anybody that wants to drink the wine needs to make a Constitution saving throw, because that stuff takes some getting used to. They also have freshly squeezed juice, orange juice, and this kind of purplish kind of fruit juice that is really bitter when you drink it. And then it's just several trays of like cheese spreads and bagels, essentially. Lots and lots of different types of bagels. In fact, being from Avil, I don't think you guys have seen this many types of bagels before, but it's an astounding assortment of them. And it would be about 15 minutes into you guys being down here when they would bring out some like actual like sliced and steamed eggs and poultry, which constitutes most of their breakfast here.
Sounds good.
You can tell while you're here, the other couple are only there for the like essentially the bagel portion of breakfast, and then they kind of leave, and then it's just you guys in the promenade.
Oh yeah, Liza, I never got to ask about it, but how are you feeling about the things you discovered about your family?
I mean, I've processed a little bit of it. It makes some sense over the years. Like, things have been mysterious and strange, so it's not that new. It's just now I know what's going on. I don't know. I feel okay.
That's something good to know. As long as it's a comforting thing.
It just feels good to have solved something, to have come to some conclusion. I hate leaving things mysteries.
After a while, I'm just gonna take a little sniff of the wine, like really debate about it. I was like, when in doubt, just takes a tiny sip. It's the littlest.
Constitution saving throw.
All right. Do I get to?
This isn't for getting drunk. This is just like
just the normal powerfulness of it. So I'm just gonna do this one normal because I think with stuff with drunkenness, I got advantage on that because of
normally with poisons, yes.
Yeah, but with this one, it's
this is just
how well I can keep my composure. 15.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's you can after you get it through, you can kind of you can see where this might become an acquired taste.
She does make that little scrunched up face for a bit and then go, oh, okay. Okay, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Someone will try the more bitter juice.
Okay.
Because, oranges are around in tropical areas, so. Try something new there.
It's again, it's pretty bitter. It's got this purplish kind of tint to it. You can tell it's a juice because you can still see like almost bits of the pulp in it, like with the orange juice. But drinking it almost has like a very bitter pomegranate kind of thing going on. You saw a couple of fruits on the table that kind of have like this very rough outside thing, and you assume they are decorations. But Hanu, you would actually know that plant right there is from around this region. It is popularly called dragon fruit, but it's not like what we think of when we think of dragon fruit. It's referred to that because of this rough outer exterior it's got on it that kind of looks like scales.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is there does it have any kind of like story behind it, or is it used medicinally for anything in particular?
People, believe that it's associated with routes where dragon turtles go as well. Whether or not there's any stake to that, unknown, because nobody's ever been able to like plot a dragon turtles migration pattern before. So, despite where these things are.
Okay. Yeah. Honey just downs the wine. She's like, this is like the second time I've had wine. It's really strange. But anyways, that over there, she's pointing to the fruit. It's called dragon fruit. They say that, dragon turtles like to do they like to eat it in particular? It's just like comes with their path, like wherever they go.
It comes with their path is what
Yeah.
people believe.
Yeah. Like, yeah, wherever it swims, they end up popping up around the region, the area. So it might actually have some interesting. Actually, I've never had one before, too. How many are there?
People enjoy it.
Yeah.
The juice a lot. They claim that it's good for hangovers, but it's just hydrating them. So,
Okay,
and
yeah.
it is good for hangovers.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Actually, how much can I recall from Dragon Turtles based off of any?
you recall that they are fairly rare creatures, and that there's been a problem with them being hunted down a lot. Slavers using them, but that most of the people from where you're from view them as a very sacred kind of creature.
Okay, yeah. I'll tell them this and then be like, and, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm planning to eventually go on not really a rampage per se, but that dragon turtle that we saw that got caught by the slavers. I'm just gonna say, once I'm able to track them down, I'm gonna track them down. So, anyways, change of subject. I wonder how it tastes. Just help you cut it open. I mean, they're very sacred. That's kind of why a lot of the monks and the druids from where we're from actually show the style of what the dragon is and what the for the monks to be the dragon turtle, as well as the druids. I think there's a very particular set that my mother she was able to conjure up a dragon turtle spirit. I think it was like the equivalent of a unicorn. I've only seen one of those creatures though, and I'm pretty sure you guys all know what it was. But yeah, that didn't set well with me. I'm still kind of
I very
conflicted
much
with that.
like seeing a unicorn being used as a death mount.
Yeah.
Right.
With like spikes through it, like an unwilling death mount.
I don't know if you guys would be willing to join me in this crusade of liberation, but that's kind of what I have on my mind. It's been on my mind actually for the last few months.
Why not, I say?
Yeah.
Sure.
Could be enjoyable.
Because what I was thinking, I know I can scry. It's been a long time since I've actually scryed, but once I'm able to do that on my own, oh boy, I might track that thing down. I mean, in my mind, what I was thinking is probably, okay, yeah, I'm jumping way too ahead of myself, but I do want to dismantle the whole operation that took it down. But the one thing that's concerning me is how powerful were they to be able to control such mystical being? That's what I'm concerned about, and why. She rubs the middle of her forehead and just sighs. Anyways, yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think we really had the chance, but it might be a little weird to ask this now, but is there anything about us you want to know about, Eliza?
realizing that you brought her through, like,
Right, like
several.
at this point, it's kind of too late. You kind of know a lot already, but might as well just be formal at this point. We're just having breakfast.
And you just all went through with like the fucking saint
Right.
stuff and like the knocking somebody off of a tower and it's just like a yep.
Right, like at this point, we've had like multiple dates, but we don't even know names type thing. It's like, well,
Yeah,
better late than never.
I know. Eliza's just like, I imagine you asking her that, and everyone's just staring at her, and she's like, well, because, I don't have specific questions. You guys are weird.
Yeah.
I take complete offense to that.
I don't mean it offensively. You're intriguing. That's why I'm here. But it's been fun to find little things. I feel like you maybe all have some things that haven't been addressed, though. I don't know.
I mean, well, the best thing.
There's a lot of instances where Saint Ava is brought in, and I don't know what all of everyone's relationship is with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot.
I mean, you do seem like somebody who's able to see both the big and small pictures. You've only got small facts with us, so might as well help you rearrange them into the bigger picture. Yeah. She awkwardly taps her fingers around on the table, looks around.
Well, we could start unpacking the
And,
relationship with Ava first, though.
well, the one thing is, I've mentioned it to the lieutenant before, where Libby is probably just. Libby, I don't know where she's at, but she was probably sleeping in the room that Hanu was in. I was like, mentioned it to the lieutenant before. I haven't really been upfront with you guys about it. I had a vision when I was really young about Saint Ava, and that's actually what brought Victor over to Koika. So I guess that's my only thread tying me to her. I didn't know who she was at the time. I just really figured that out after we actually went to Koiko. I saw your temple. The way it was in my dream. Apparently it never floated, or at least parts of it never floated in the air like that.
Nah, that was a recent event.
Yeah.
Apparently after that happened.
Yeah. And,
You said that's why Victor came?
yeah, when I was a young girl, a lot younger than I thought I was actually at the time, but I was getting visions from Takaroa, certain things, preventing a catastrophe. Small visions. I was considered a soothsayer of my archipelago. One time, I had a vision. And Victor, I think, sought me out, or I never really asked. But once I got this vision, Victor was there, though. And I told him this vision, and on the day of my birthday, I left with him.
He just appeared there?
Yeah, Victor has that way. Or the gods have a weird way anyways. Takaroa most likely revealed this to me as he was approaching. Word got around very briefly in the surrounding archipelagos, so he might have caught wind of it. I know Victor has his ways, but he came to me, sought guidance, and I told him, and it just so happened to be on the same day as my birthday, so my parents bid me farewell, saying it was the rite of passage of me. And yeah. Started my adventure because of St. Ava, if anything. She's saying that she's not really looking at either Kak or Zarman. She's staring at her wine and staring at the fruit. And cutting it up slightly nervous habit of cutting things up kind of thing. Smaller pieces, but yeah. Anyways, that is my whole story. Or at least the beginning of it.
Did your vision come true, or were you able to avoid what you were wanting to?
I think it just set me on the path that I needed to take.
Gotcha.
For what I've heard about it, Victor and his crew, the Stars and Sea Society, was looking for her for ages, following false trails, and I managed to get the one that they needed to follow. What become of that, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it led to our home island.
Yeah.
After
Right, and
Victor
so-
arrived, he managed to open the ruins on our island and went in there. Eventually, Zil got curious, and I couldn't leave him to go look at that alone. We were always told as kids to not go near those ruins multiple times. It's one of those things of when you tell a kid multiple times not to do something, they go do something. That was usually Zil.
So I know that you guys grew up together, but I don't know all the details around that. When did you meet? Was it before you left with Victor, Hanu?
After. Yeah, after. I mean, I only traveled with Victor for a few months. Then I got dropped off at Bedawang to become an oracle. So that was only a Dreamfall the 23rd is when I met up with these guys. She's just pointing broad gesture over to Zale and Kak, and then he was a little bit different, but they're still the same as she motions to Kak.
Yeah, we met Hanu about 5 months ago? 6? I'm not quite sure.
The equivalent of September, she had met them.
About 6 months ago.
Okay. So yeah, she was dropped off at another place before Victor arrived on our island.
That was, 15, yeah. I was 13 when I got picked up by Victor, and 15 years later, I met these guys.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a bit of a time jump, you can say. In more than one way, I think, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, Eliza would immediately know that Zarman mentioned that time travel was a thing to your aunt while we were walking in that cave, so. Well, when Victor arrived and opened the ruins, he went in there with multiple villagers amongst our village and some of his own crew. Eventually, Zell got curious, even though we were being told multiple times not to go into the ruins. Of course, we went into the ruins. Kak, Killam, and Rue also followed us in. And then that's when the weird things started happening. Once we made it in, and things were always just a little bit off. Weird things were talked about. We went to another planet at some point. I'm not quite sure.
Another planet?
No, another plane.
Plane.
Yeah, we were in some other dimension at some point. There was a god there. Well, I guess a couple. Amongst other things, I'm still not quite sure how to contextualize. I'm not the best on that type of subject. But the crystal containing... There was a crystal there that actually had St. Ava in it. And Victor was trying to unlatch her.
I see. Was he
Push came to shove. We were successful in stopping somebody from trying to take Ava's crystal himself. And after that situation was resolved, Victor stood there as we took Ava's crystal tied Ava's crystal to a ship, and we took a ship out of the cave. After we went through some weird passage, we ended up somewhere in the middle of the ocean, around a little bit further east from Broken Star Bay, if I remember right. And at that point, it was 15 years into the future. There's a massive segment of time not there anymore.
Oh,
And when we were there, Ava's crystal wasn't there anymore. So we had lost her somewhere amongst that travel.
so there's just 15 years missing. That was. I mean, you have no memory of it, or.
I think there wasn't a possibility for memory there. Everything made sense as that we were going through there.
I think it's just like opening up the door, and then as you step across the boundary, you all of a sudden just jumped forwards to a different place, different time. Blink of an eye.
That's incredible.
I mean, I've never experienced time travel before, so I wouldn't know, but.
Some of those events may be different for you. I'm not quite sure which one's the same or different, though, as Zarman's looking at Gek. But that was the gist of what happened to us, though.
Yes, different.
Yeah. Hanu said you looked different but the same.
He's still a Kak, but not the Kak we went to those ruins with.
I am still the Kak, yes.
Not.
I am not their Kak. Although I suppose I kind of am now.
I mean,
This
yeah.
whole thing is very confusing and complicated, but it is what it is.
I'm just patting Kek on the shoulder and just conspiratorially whispering to Eliza, not bad mouth the quote-unquote other Kek, but he had significantly less amount of floof than this one does. I have to say, yeah.
Eliza just smiles at you and she's like, I like your flute.
Mm-hmm. I think that's
It just sits there.
that's the source of his power, I think, because the other one had to, like, I think they're called wizards. I don't know what that means, but I think, anyways, they learn spells differently, but this one, I think his magic comes from the floof.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It comes from my floof.
Yeah. You have to have
Sir half rolls his eye.
spell components are very vital in magic, so I'm guessing this is the conduit of mystical source of you, she says, waving her arms around.
But yeah, more specifically, back to the original question now, after describing that event. I knew Zil, Rue, Kak, and Killam. Killam was more of a recent thing, but I've seen him around in the village. And I knew all of them for about 11 years.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, but what about you? What's your connection with, St. Ava specifically? We know your family's kind of connected to it, but anything in the past before that kind of was signs? Because that's the weird thing with destiny and stuff. Little signs, you just need to know how to look for them first.
I don't know if Chance is there, he's muted. But I know that he said something. He sent me something about Saint Ava in relation to Eliza, and I don't have it. It was like a few weeks ago. So
Your family has always had like a lot of the same iconography as Saint Ava. Um, are not necessarily like beholden to any saint over another. Your your family's old organization of like fighting monsters goes back to being one of the original knights of Saint Ava. So one of your great ancestors was one of the original knights of Saint Ava. Um, and has been a knightly order ever since then.
okay. So yeah, I explained that.
Hmm. Okay. I mean, I don't really know how to read Adamar. He seems to be a very close to the vest type of person, but how are you feeling with this, being so close to such a mystical figure in your life? She's just there, but not at the same time. Her body's here, her mind is slightly lost, but still there.
Whose?
Uh,
Sorry.
Gwen. Gwen is, you would have been told that, by Adamar that, actually, the vision that we would have from the whole prophecy thing, would have mentioned that the woman that was at the Maravesi mansion in Port Valiant was actually Saint Ava. It's just amnesiac.
Oh.
Yeah.
Listen.
Sorry. Well, wait. So Gwen was Saint Ava,
Yeah.
She is Saint Eva, but without her memories.
and Gwen is who again?
Some amnesiac that came into your family's care.
So, if you were there the first time that we had went to Adamar, oh yeah, you were because you looked up the stuff about the maze and some of your family history. She was the
Yeah.
woman who would try to mind read or try to do something and
Yeah, she tried to
kill.
plot to
Yeah,
kill him's mind, and she seized up and fell off the
yeah,
rafters.
and then
That was Gwen.
yeah, and then Hanu had to restrain Killam because he was about to go like rush at her. So she was frantic then. But
Okay. What happened to her after that?
She after the vision, it was revealed to her that she was Ava. She went isolated herself for a little bit to think about it, and she started traveling with us since.
Yeah.
So she was on the airship with us, and she was one of the people in the bubble as the airship was crashing. And she's also one of the few characters that followed us to actually go to Hearthvine.
Mhm.
So she was with us that whole Hearthvine road trip too.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Hanu would have shrugged, like, yeah, it's weird having such a historical figure there. It just seems so normal compared to everybody.
She's kind of like lost her because she's an amnesiac. She struggles to remember a lot of things, and so she's kind of got like this Alzheimer's in its bad stages, but it's getting better as she travels. So she struggles to maintain a lot of conversations for a period of time. So you wouldn't have talked to her much during this traveling. She's kind of like sort of just soaking in the environment around her, and then anytime anybody tries to like get her to remember anything, it ends up becoming frustrating, and then she kind of
So,
goes out again.
yep. I mean, she seems to be responding well to Igor, though, but yeah. Sorry, you were saying, Eliza?
Just to, I guess, answer your question. It's curious, and I I would like to get more information from her somehow. But it's kind of like, I don't know, like finding out something about a family member that doesn't really change what's going on. It's just something new that you know, I guess.
So, way to think about it. I mean, all in all, memory or not, she still has the same conviction and determination as before. Those legends have to come from somewhere. We just are seeing them without all the glamour and stuff that the Empire probably painted her as.
Yeah.
But if you ever do want to have a good way to speak to her, I've been training Igor for some tricks. I can show you something. Trust me, the one thing I'm good at is getting people to talk about certain stuff.
Okay.
She says, trying to be intimidating, like the little mobster. I can make people talk. Kind of like not a... yeah. Alright.
Play Igor's being nice with Mr. Whiskers.
Mm.
Igor, or Zarma's just like, oh shit, I forgot Igor is still in Avil.
No, do you need to be like a mile away to talk to him, or what?
Yeah, I have to be within a mile to
Okay.
telepathically talk. What? That's not in range.
Okay.
Bring
What?
him
No way.
back.
But one of the things I was wondering, actually, Zarman. I mean, well, one of the reasons why I wanted Igor to befriend Quinn was, number one, he's adorable. Just look at his nose. You look at that nose, you want to boop it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have that much willpower when it comes to those types of things. But number two, it kind of is a source of her in a way. So I thought that would be a good way to connect to her. But I don't know. What about you, Zarma? What drew you to Ava?
I'm not quite sure. Honestly.
Hmm.
She just spoke to me in those ruins.
Are you not quite sure in terms of you don't want to find out? Are you afraid of that? Or are you just...
I just always question why me.
Well, faith is a weird thing. Sometimes questioning why me is sometimes counterproductive in a way. It's more of what can I do now that it's me.
Yeah.
Stares at you for a long time. Yeah. I always was wondering why Takaro chose me. It's nothing I can really do about it. I was assigned to me before birth, if anything. But I have an interesting opportunity to follow what Takaro's path wants me to follow. So, I mean, it was very intimidating, but at least with what we're doing right now, I'm kind of excited that I'm actually about to make some change in the world that I wasn't able to as an oracle. It just seemed like I was running around in circles with that. Nothing ever got solved. I had all these answers that the gods were revealing, but nothing seemed to come from it. Oh, wait. Okay. So, she perks up significantly. So we did manage to contact Arthur the other day, before he went, like after you went to sleep. Keck, what did he, yeah, Keck, what did he say? I think I remember, but I want to make sure I have my wording correctly, because this could be extremely awkward.
Arthur? Yes?
Yeah. Well, what did Arthur? I mean, do you remember the phrasing Arthur used? Yeah.
So Arthur told us that he was going to spend a night with a companion, and we were told otherwise not to talk to anyone at all.
Oh, yeah, that was Tirana there. We contact both Tirana
Yeah,
and Arthur. But originally, I was just trying to reiterate to Arthur that if he'd ever needed to want to handle that whole situation with what happened with the ghost, that Tirana can probably hedge him the funds. And he seems to be taking it in strides, though, because Arthur does not strike me as a person who would seek companionship in a time of distress or depression. I don't know, I'm probably reading that wrong, but I'm pretty sure in those times he's probably going to be really angry going and avenge this person.
That's exactly when they get the knife right between your back. You hear that in your head, you know?
Right, it's one of those things of, okay, I think I know what they're saying. Well, I'm pretty sure that was more of his way of saying he was fine with it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the times, I mean, you have to admit, his beard did grow a lot, and he always had a habit of scratching at his beard, in a very thoughtful manner. Like my gramps used to do that. I mean, he still does that, but he used to do that all the time. Where he had a really long beard. I went all the way to his stomach, on the belly button. He'd just kind of stroke it, really intimidatingly. And Arthur was doing that a lot, which I mean, if you had a beard, you'd probably do that too. I mean, Keck does it sometimes when he thinks. So it's really thoughtful kind of
you
stroke.
look at his there stroking.
I know, it's yeah.
My hair did get quite a bit longer off of that too.
Mm-hmm.
How does that even work? He continues to stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Aging. And you're like some sort of draconic creature and you're growing hair. This is madness.
I've had hair since I was a kid. Never mind.
Yes, it is still strange.
I mean, some of the dragons of depicted in Jala had really long hair. I see. Wait a second. She'll
Mustaches.
Yeah, she'll pull out a book of and it's a book of war stuff, and on the spine of it, you just see a curled dragon with the stereotypical kind of Chinese design of the really long mustache and then long tail with the hair at the end. See? Wait, does this mean Zarman's gonna grow a mustache too? She peers really close at you, oh.
And Zarman just kills his snout. Well, I mean, there's nothing there now, and there was a lot of aging that happened with that ghost. I don't think it's coming.
But, I mean, well, here's the one thing. Not to talk smack about Zale, but older elves get beards. It's gonna be a few hundred years before he gets any facial hair at all. So that might be the same with you. Maybe it's just shows the maturity, but how are you feeling with that? It happened to you once before, but are you doing okay?
I was more worried that Arthur wouldn't be able to do it for himself.
They do have the equipment there. They're pretty sure they were saying that the head priest can undo it. So it's up to him.
We'd kind of have to get there probably pretty soon then.
Yeah. That's true. Can't go anywhere on an empty stomach, and I think Libba's gonna go try to get something, or at least stake the place out, and I don't even know where Babette's at.
She's probably still in bed.
Wait a second. Is she doing the whole put the pillow underneath the bed trick? Wait a second. I will go over to where Babette would be sleeping. I lean in close, and I motion to Eliza to come with me.
She comes.
Does that look like Babette's sleeping form, or is that just a bunch of pillows?
Chance, does it look like
I mean, I will tell you the way that I would handle this. I would just jump on in and give it a flying elbow there, but I don't know if she's your best friend.
Well, it was kind of a long day yesterday. I just let her rest.
Okay. I'm still like a little leaning over waiting to see if these are pillows, but I'm like, okay. It's up to you. I mean, I can always pour water on her.
Eliza will just walk up and like kind of like slowly peel the blanket back to see.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's sleeping.
I'd assume so. Chance has himself made it, so.
She's asleep.
Henry stares at Babette's sleeping form. This doesn't change my answer. You can wake her up that way.
Well, I'd just leave. People were still asleep. We were up for a very long time yesterday.
She needs rest. And I like tuck her blanket back in around her and just pat her on the head and walk away.
Okay.
How did he meet her, by the way? Sarman, looks at Eliza.
Babs?
Yeah.
We grew up together. We met in school and our families. Well, no, we didn't meet in school. I'm sorry. We met at a festival. Her family was performing in the yearly Avalian Festival. And we've pretty much been inseparable since until we both left the hearth. And then I hadn't really heard from her for a long time until we ran into her together, all of us. But
yeah,
we spent probably every day together until we were 15.
Kind of folds her hands together on the table and leans in. So what is the Avalian way of finding a friend? Because I will say, at least for me on Bedouin, the way I met my best friend is I punched her in the face. Did you punch her in the face?
I did not punch her in the face.
Well, my best friend was a monk, so that makes sense on why that's a differing opinion, but best friends are a weird concept. For me, at least.
Well, Babette's always been very, very outgoing. And I don't know. I think that people want to talk to her. I wanted to talk to her. But I will say that Avalians are more outgoing and cheerful than I personally probably am.
Yeah. I always feel like Avalians were known for their thirst of adventure and knowing things, so I think you have that aspect of it.
Yeah. That's true.
Probably not the, like, flamboyancy of it, but still, that drive is there.
Hey, hi guys.
We were in see this fucking dude.
I know.
Zale, by the way.
Hi.
Everybody's
up?
having a breakfast promenade.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was just taking a bit of a break right now. The party started like 3 hours ago, so
Okay.
we're doing like carnival games and everything. I was running some of the games for people, so
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
yeah,
We're just catching up with some Eliza RP and stuff.
oh yeah, cool.
Zale is currently asleep.
Yeah, I'm just came to say hi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been
Mhm.
party and stuff like that. Oh, and hi Sarah.
Hi.
I saw you there. Gonna say hi, but I didn't say what I was doing. But hi, welcome back.
Thank you.
We missed you.
Yeah, no, I missed you guys too. I'm sorry. It's been like a really
No problem.
rough.
It's been
for
It's
me.
been like that for like a lot of people. You have no issue whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you did better though.
Yeah, no, I'm on the upswing of things. I think I'm ready to be back. I miss D&D. I didn't do my other campaign either, so I mean it's been
Get
like
on that withdrawal right now. Okay.
yeah, for real.
I
Yeah.
need those
Yeah.
dice. Oh boy.
Ugh, I am hot because I did like a last minute because I was like still thinking what to pick, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I went steampunk and went the full outfit and everything. I got the hat, glasses, vest, shirt, pants, shoes, even like a like clockwork like watch and like gloves. So,
Hell yeah.
ugh, I'm still in it right now, but
Mhm.
it's no chilling.
The boys and I this year were like really lazy and cheap about Halloween, and so we just